Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through the Supreme Arena defenses I've come up with for this week. We have one free-to-play team, two different mid-team options, and then the pay-to-win of course. We'll lead it off with free-to-play team number 1. This is going to be the Bonnie damage over time team, similar to what we have run in the previous week as well. You're going to have Citrana here to spread her spark debuff, and then we have Bonnie for her major debuff onto the enemies, and Callan here for additional protection, and Damon further buffing up Citrana. Siren in the back who's going to spread the debuffs effectively and then also have some damage. And we're going to run it with the Wingguard spell for more protection. Basically, this team is going to be really tanky with both Callan and Wingguard. If you don't have Callan built, you can also use Thorin here, for example, and run him in the same position. It isn't going to be quite as strong, but it still is a decent option. And as you guys are going to see in the mid-teams when we move on to them, if you have Igor built, you can actually not use Siren and decide to go for Igor in a team like this. And also, this is going to be even more effective because Igor is a great staller. But Siren, definitely a good option, especially a lot of people having Paragon upgraded. And for a free-to-play set, this should be a good choice for you. So for team number 2, we're again going to be using heroes. A lot of players do have Paragon upgraded over the time playing. It is going to be a Pandora Shmir combo, and this map effect is going to add additional protection for Pandora and Shmir, which is very needed because otherwise these heroes can be taken down pretty quickly. So we also have a bonus Life of Nero onto the Shmira, and if there's an enemy Lily May, then Nero will be taking that. Hugin further buffing up Shmira. We have Ludovic for healing and the Greyborn Phantomal, and we're going to run it with the Sunland spell because this is a good offensive artifact, and there are quite a lot of ultimates going off in this team early on, Hugin, Nero, and Shmira, so you're going to be able to proc that pretty quick into the match. Overall, I mean, this is not going to be the strongest of teams, but it is going to make good use of your Paragon upgraded heroes if you're a long-term player, and I think that is going to be good enough to actually do well for you. Okay, moving on to Team 3. Team 3 is going to be a Theodore Freerin team combo with Iron in here as well. So Iron will take an enemy Lily May interruption, or he'll just group up the enemy team. We have Theodore boosting up Freerin, and Ravron is going to be buffing up your Lily May and Freerin, who are the rearmost. Again, this is using strong heroes for PvP, which you've been probably Paragon upgrading for a while in order to get this to work. Now, if you do not have Freerin, this will then come back to the idea of you can use Siren here, but you know, right now we're using Siren on team 1, but Siren here is also a really good option. Again, getting the Ravron buff is going to do really well, but then on team 1 you will just have to make a replacement. Probably Igor would be the best option. Just run Igor off to the side if you do have Igor. If you don't have Igor, you will just have to come up with whatever other hero you have upgraded and you're not utilizing. Even, for example, if you're using Celise, you could throw Celise in here. You could throw in a hero like Damien. It will just really come down to what options you have left over. But basically, that is a free-to-play set. Okay, guys, so for mid team number 1, we are actually going to be running that Igor Bonnie damage over time team. And this is going to be effective. Your Callan, Citrana, Igor, they can all be a +10 exclusive equipment. Ideally, if you have some Paragons into them, that'll be good, but they can't even function without. And Damon, he can also technically work at +10. Your Bonnie, though, do try to have her at +25, maybe even some Slumber Essence investment if you are using Bonnie damage over time teams a lot. And this is going to be with Sunland spell because it is going to be a bit of a stroll comp. You're going to be able to get off multiple ultimates and be able to proc this effect. You can also run it with the Swift Heal spell if you would like, but Sunland should be a bit more offensive. Moving on to Team 2. So Team 2 is going to be Freerin Himmel combo, and at first look, it may seem very pay to win. However, is using heroes which you may have built up for Dream Realm. Gunner and Contest, who are very strong in both Dream Realm but also in PvP. And if you have them, this is going to be a great team option that you can run, using the twins to further buff up Freerin and Himmel going to give his Heroic Party buff to your Gunner and Contest and to the Freerin. And that is going to be really key for this team comp. The map effect is going to further protect your twins and the Contest. I do hope that this protection is going to activate on Contest because I know she is untargetable at the beginning of battle. Because Contest is going to be slightly at a risk of dying. You know, that's always one potential thing. However, being in the back with this protection, hopefully, and then also Gunner, this hopefully is going to be good enough to survive. And Freeland is going to absolutely destroy the enemy once she can get off an ultimate, and that is a whole game plan behind this comp. Team 3 is going to be the Theodore Siren combo, which is going to be really strong. Iron will take an enemy Lily May interruption, then your Siren is going to soon follow up with his ultimate. Ravion are going to be buffing up Siren and Lily May. And again, using heroes, which a lot of people do have Paragon upgraded. That was a whole priority when I came up with these teams. So that is what we are doing. So the second set of mid teams is going to use the same team 1, which is going to be this Callan combo with Igor, Stall, Bonnie damage over time. Like we said, if you want to replace Callan, you can replace for a hero like Thorin if needed, or even a hero like Nero, because Nero is not being used here. Or even honestly, in this team comp specifically, because we're not running these heroes, you can run even Ludovic. Ludovic will be a decent overall option to be running into a comp like this. So that is definitely possible. But if you do have Callan, probably Callan is going to be the best option. Okay, moving on to team 2. This is going to be Gwyneth. So Gwyneth is coming out in a mid-level of team, and to show you how Gwyneth can actually be run. So Gwyneth is going to be great with the Lightbearer Phantom. She doesn't need the Hypogean Celestial, and I wanted to give you an option like for players who don't have Gunner and things like that. So Hugin is going to be a great buffer for Gwyneth. Hugin is basically the free-to-play version of Gunner if you don't have Gunner built for PvP. You're going to have Aliceth further protecting and also causing her to target the backline enemy, and in this map effect she's also going to be invincible. So this is going to be a really strong team to keep your Gwyneth alive. Ravion further buffing up both in the back, and then we have the Lightbearer Phantom further increasing the buff of your rearmost, the attack onto the rearmost hero, which is going to be Gwyneth, stealing it from the enemies. And then we have Siren here as well. And he is just going to be some more potential crowd control, blocking their artifact. And we're running Wingard spell, which is really good protection. It does really well into these Gwyneth teams. So this is just going to show you a more mid-level, budget level of a Gwyneth team that you can run that should be very effective. Use Aliceth even if she's at Supreme Plus. You don't need to have Aliceth Paragon upgraded. You don't need to have investment into her refinement of exclusive equipment. Aliceth is an accessory hero in comps like these. She's just there to support the Gwyneth. Your Gwyneth don't need to be as high investment as you possibly can. Gwyneth is one of the strongest hyper carries currently. So moving on to Team 3. Team 3 is going to be the Freeran comp. We're running it with Alna, though, again, for a mid-level of team. Some people have Alna in PvP. Again, you don't have to run this. You can just run the, like, you can try Ravion on this team and swap out Ravion for some other hero that you have left over and run, like, the Theodore Freeran comp we showed for the free-to-play team lineup. However, if you have Alna, definitely this is going to be even better because Alna is going to further protect your Freeran. You have Iron to take an enemy Lily May interruption, and also Iron's probably going to be Paragon upgraded for you. If needed, or if you have Solis, definitely Solis is going to be a great option that you could run in a team like this as well. You could definitely run Solis, but Iron also probably for a lot of people is more Paragon upgraded, and that can be important, and you can take an enemy Lily May interruption. That's the whole game plan, but Solis is a really solid option here as well, definitely. And this is going to be with the breakthrough spell. So that's going to be it for the mid teams. We're now going to move on to the pay-to-win teams, but before we do that, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thank you all so much for the support. Okay guys, so here we have the pay-to-win teams. Pay-to-win team number 1 is going to be the Bird Ulna comp. This is one of the strongest PvP comps currently in the meta because it protects the Sylphira long enough that she will get off her ultimate. And once Sylphira gets off her ultimate, it's almost game over for the opponent because they're all going to be, multiple of them going to be silenced, shutting down their whole game plan, and also massive damage going to be coming out from Sylphira. So what we have here is Hepler protecting the Sylphira. Hepler can work even at lower investment. It's just basically to give that additional life to your Sylphira. All not going to be protecting Sylphira, and we're running Zandrok as well for a couple of reasons. Number one, this map effect can be annoying with these the hedges. We're going to try to destroy that with the Zandrok. Also, though, Zandrok just in this team comp is pretty effective because he's going to give the movement speed buff and the haste to your melee heroes and melee hypercarry, basically Sophia, which has high synergy always. Like, you've always run Xandrock with Perseus, and it works kind of the same with Sophia as well. You have Mihira as well because you want Mihira to crowd control enemies to charge up the beats of Sophia more rapidly and also just buy some time. And then you have your Phantoma in the back. He's just going to be taking any Bonnie debuff or anything else which is going to be going off. That's the whole game plan behind this team. We're running it with the breakthrough spell. Very effective team for sure, but the core of it is Ulna and Sophia combo with Mihira ideally. And the other two heroes are replaceable for any other supportive type roles you have. These are not musts. Okay, and they're workable at lower level of investment, Xandrock and Hepler. Okay, now moving on to Team 2. Team 2 is going to be the pay-to-win Gwyneth team. So if you were wondering what is going to be a good pay-to-win team with Gunnar to run for Gwyneth, basically going to be a Hypogean Celestial team using Gunnar on Gwyneth and Alicent on Gwyneth. Those are going to be the two key parts to enabling Gwyneth, protecting her as much as possible. Now, Kulu is going to be a really good final option for more range defense buff and like blocking out the enemy melee heroes. However, literally you can run anything else onto Gwyneth here. For example, it really, the sky is the limit. You can, if needed and you don't have Kulu, you can run Mihira. Mihira is going to be a good option if you're not running her on the Sulfura team. If you want to run something like, even if you need to, for example, run Aurora, it doesn't honestly really matter. You're just going to activate this Hypogean Celestial Phantoma and just call it a day at that point, right? So you don't need to have Kulu. However, Kulu probably is the best ally for Gwyneth if you have her. That is a key thing. And Callan for more protection, Wingard spell more protection, and this positioning I found to be probably better than what I recommended the previous week, and we have further protection onto Gwyneth and Alicent, which is great. Okay, moving on to Team 3. Now, Team 3 is a little bit awkward, mainly because this map effect is so awkward. I wasn't able to actually even run Freerin and Himmel together, unfortunately, because this map effect will not allow it. And all of the maps have a little bit of problem this week in Supreme Arena. So this was the best I could come up with my leftover options, and I'm going to explain it. So Freerin, of course, I always want to run her in one of the teams, and you can run her even without necessarily supporting her with Himmel. She's still going to deal massive damage. She's still going to provide the defensive magic to your frontline tank, and that is going to be huge value for you. Now, what else do we have as win conditions here? We have Saida rapidly casting ultimates with her energy boosting from the twins. That is the whole game plan, and this is actually reason I've maxed refined Saida in preparation for Supreme League. I am going to be running Saida in my Supreme League teams because she is still one of the best hyper carries available, because after her 3 ultimates is basically a guaranteed win for you. And yeah, so we also have Contest. Contest is going to silence enemies, and then also she's gonna, you know, protect and heal your own team. We have the Dunling and Curlock on the Contest, and Contest has the highest healing output from this team. The reason we have Dunling and Curlock rather than Ultimate is we don't want to block out our side and free them from casting Ultimate, number one. Number two, if the enemy goes for healing or strolling strategy, they're going to be shut down by the Curlock. I know blocking ultimates of enemies is also strong, but it's going to be more detrimental to this team if you block your own team's ultimates, right? And then we're going to be running Swift Heal Spell just as a tanky option. However, honestly, you could experiment with different options. Like, I'm tempted to try Surging Spell. I just don't know how good it is. And even Sunland Spell for this team, because you're going to have quite a lot of ultimates going on with the Twins and Saida. But I decided let's just go for as much Stroll as possible. With the Vitality boost from this and the periodic healing, it can actually help when, if Saida is the last one standing and she keeps getting some of these healing procs, it can basically be the, you know, the deciding factor allowing her to get off her one and final ultimate to lock down the enemies. So those are going to be my teams, all the teams for this week of Supreme Arena. Hopefully it gives you a good variety to choose from, and hopefully they do work for you. If there's any other team that you're using and you would like to share with others, you can feel free to copy and paste your formation ID into the chat. That is always appreciated and can help others out. And definitely everyone has unique options built up on their accounts, so the more teams the better, basically, for people to give a try. But hopefully these teams work out well for you. Good luck this week in Supreme Arena. thank you guys all so much for watching. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.